What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another video, and this time we're going to be ranking all 5 seasons of Better Call Saul in preparation for the 6th and final season to be released next month, which I am very excited for. So, without wasting any time, let's get this ranking video underway. So, coming in at number 5 is Better Call Saul Season 5. Overall, I liked Season 5. I thought it was a solid season and a good penultimate setup for what's to come in the 6th season. However, I do think that Season 5, out of the 4 that came before it, is the weakest of the bunch. I don't know what it is about Season 5, but to me, this season had just a lot of filler to it. It really had a lot of filler. You had the subplot with Kim trying to defend this guy called Mr. Acker, whose land is trying to be seized by Mesa Verde. I think that goes on for maybe 2 or 3 episodes too long. You get the Bagman episode, which tries to create the illusion that Jimmy's going to die. Jimmy McGill is going to die in the desert, which I hate when prequels do something like this because we know these characters survive. So why are we putting them in life or death situations? This episode to me comes across as just filler and completely unnecessary. And another thing is the character of Nacho, who was a really cool character that the Better Call Saul universe had established. He's not really used all that much in season 5, and his role doesn't really seem to get interesting until you get to the last couple episodes where he double crosses Lalo while working with Gus. So I think Nacho is really underutilized. But speaking of Lalo, Tony Dalton, who made his debut in season 4, is more expanded upon in season 5. And Tony Dalton, to me, he is the shining star of the latter half of the Better Call Saul. His performance of Lalo from the last 3 episodes of season 5, from the last 3 episodes of season 4 going into season 5, Dalton as Lalo is a star-making performance. He is absolutely fantastic as the character of Lalo. The man has got such a sinister, charming quality to him that you just can't take your eyes off him. It's ridiculous. Like, there's something about Tony Dalton's performance as Lalo and just as an actor, you just can't take your eyes off him. And he's quickly becoming one of my favorite actors. I loved his performance as Lalo. I liked his performance in Hawkeye, even though I think it was kind of underutilized in that show. But Dalton in Better Call Saul, to me, is being used to the best of his abilities, and he is making the most out of every single scene he's in. The chemistry that he has with Bob Odenkirk in season 5 is spotless. I love it. Good stuff. Coming at number 4 is season 1. So everything is based on perspective in terms of certain things. So season 1 coming at number 4 doesn't mean it's one of the worst seasons in the show, because it's far from it. I think Better Call Saul season 1 is excellent. Perfectly sets up the origin story of Jimmy McGill and his slow transformation into Saul Goodman. It establishes that he had a brother named Chuck who suffers from a mental illness which makes him allergic to electromagnetism. We discovered that there was this girl in his life named Kim Wexler who he had a relationship with, and that he has a personal vendetta against this law firm called HHM, particularly Howard Hanlon, who runs that organization. And we also find out through season 1 that he was first practicing in elder law. Like, season 1 set up a lot of pieces to Saul. We also see that he had a connection with Tuco as he defended 2 skater punks against him after Tuco was going to kill them. Like, season 1 did a good job at establishing Jimmy McGill, the man, and his slow transformation into Saul Goodman, the criminal lawyer, the one who just uses everything for personal gain. Like, season 1 establishes McGill as this earnest, good guy who does, some shady tactics, but is overall harmless in a way. Season 1 did a good job at establishing that, and a good job at establishing Chuck, who goes from being a ally to the eventual villain to the eventual villain. Handled really well and teased really well in season 1. No complaints. Coming in at number 3 is season 2. Season 2 of Better Call Saul, I thought, is absolutely great. I love season 2. Season 2 is another slam dunk season. We see Jimmy getting into this law firm called Davis and Maine, and we see that he has trouble assimilating to that since he's more of a solo practitioner and not much of a team player, so to speak. And seeing him try to assimilate to that culture and him not being able to do it, and then as the season progresses, he tries to find a way to get out of Davis and Maine while also trying to get his pay at the same time, is actually really entertaining and fun to see. So I like all that stuff. We get to see that Kim's character gets a lot of expansion in season 2 as well. We see how she falls into some of Slip and Jimmy's games when the both of them team together to con a guy. So those scenes are really interesting. Kim has her own little subplot where she's trying to break away from HHM after they demote her in a way, and this all happens when she gets when she convinces this big bank named Besa Verde to fall under her guidance. Of course, HHM steals it away, which causes Jimmy to concoct this plan to pretty much stick it to Howard and his brother Chuck. And the end of season 2 is what segues into season 3. So yeah, season 2 does a great job at setting up season 3, which to me which I'll get to momentarily. But yeah, love season 2. Coming in at number 2 is Better Call Saul season 4. Season 4 to me is probably the darkest of the Better Call Saul seasons, pretty much next to number 5, in terms how the tone of this season starts to feel more like Breaking Bad, and Jimmy McGill starts to feel more like Saul Goodman in a lot of areas. He deals with the aftermath of what happened at the end of season 3 with the death of his brother Chuck. We also see that Jimmy McGill, now he cannot practice law because he can't practice law for a year. So we see him selling drop phones, which becomes very, very important later on. On top of that, we get more expansion with Kim's character. She's starting to grow tired of working for big banks. So now she wants to do some pro bono work. At the same time, she also signs up with Schrankert and Coakley, which has played pretty much a big role since the start of the show. It's a big law firm, but now that she's with this company, she can now focus on other things that are more fulfilling to her in a way. So like Kim has a lot of good things happen to her. Jimmy, his transformation to Saul Goodman in season 4 really gets expanded upon. The character of Mike, who has some good stuff in season 1, had good stuff in season 2, and good stuff in season 3. He has some really good stuff in season 4. Before I do anything, season 3 also brought back Gus. Season 4 expands upon that. Not only does season 3 expand upon Gus, it also expands upon Gus's budding relationship that he starts to form with Mike. And season 4 is where we get to see the early formations of what would become the super lab and the laundromat. So all that stuff is great. And yeah, season 4 to me is another slam dunk. Season 4 is perfect. But the season that I think is the best out of them all is season 3. I love season 3 of Better Call Saul. I think season 3 is the perfect season. Number 1, season 3, it brings in Gus. It establishes Gus. Not only that, we see what happens to Hector Salamanca, and we find out that his physical illness came at the hands of Nacho after Hector tried to make a push on Nacho's dad, and Nacho was not having that. We see Mike's character gets further expanded upon in season 3. Especially since he starts to form. Especially season 3 is where Mike and Gus start to form what would become their working relationship that goes on through Breaking Bad. Season 3 set up a lot of important elements and pieces that'll be expanded upon greater in the Breaking Bad universe. But to me, what makes season 3 the best is the rivalry between Chuck and Jimmy. By season 3, their relationship has deteriorated into absolutely nothingness. These two guys hate each other almost with a dying passion. Jimmy feels betrayed by his flesh and blood. Chuck, we realize he never liked Jimmy. He always was jealous of Jimmy, always hated Jimmy. And in season 3, especially in the episode Chicanery, where they have the big courtroom scene, outstanding stuff. Michael Mckeon in season 3 gives an absolute best performance out of all 3 seasons, up to all seasons up to this point. Michael Mckeon is an unsung hero of the Better Call Saul, of the first 3 seasons of Better Call Saul. His performance is outstanding, topless and flawless. And the last episode, where he pretty much commits suicide after having a relapse, is both, yes, Chuck gets his just desserts, but you also kind of feel sorry for him as well. Season 3 to me, perfect. Hits all the right beats and sets up everything for what's to come for seasons 4, 5, and eventual season 6. So yeah, those are my rankings of all 5 seasons of Better Call Saul up to this point. Let me know yours in the comment sections down below. Like the video and subscribe, and I'll check you back next time for more.